Central Florida, there's only one place to get a weather forecast that's the most accurate. And that's with WESH 2 Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi and First Warning Weather, certified by WeatherRate for 18 years straight.
Our forecasts are clear, concise, and built with your day in mind.
Using advanced technology to warn you ahead of the next storm. Because weather is an everyday part of life. Make WESH 2 First Warning Weather your choice for a trusted, accurate forecast. WESH 2 News starts now with breaking news.
That breaking news tonight is out of Apopka, where crews are battling to put out this brush fire where smoke could be seen for miles. Good evening, I'm Luana Munoz. This is all unfolding near State Road 414 and Lakeville Road. That's where we find WESH 2's David Jones. David, what are you seeing out there?
Luana, still a very active scene. We're on Hammond Drive. This is in the South Apopka area. We've got multiple different units. We've got units here behind me. There's units down the street as well. You can see just how wide of a scene this is. Orange County Sheriff's Office deputies have literally just arrived on scene here minutes ago and have begun blocking off this area to give fire rescue crews some space to work with. Now let's show you some video that WESH 2 photographer Jake Arthur captured. This is actually in the landfill, the old landfill off 414 in South Apopka. This is where this fire started up, and it spread very quickly. We've been telling you all week for multiple weeks about these very dry conditions that people, firefighters have been experiencing when they're going out here to battle these fires. So this fire is approximately 25 acres. That's about as large as it is right now. That was the last update that we received from the County Sheriff's Office. And as we look through the tree line, we can actually still see some firefighters battling some fire that is in looking off 414, if you look into the old landfill, you can actually see just how far this fire has spread here. Now, this fire also did close a couple lanes of 414.
Since we've been here, the fire has moved rather quickly. We've seen it spread and go completely, pretty much from being right here all the way down to the far side of the hill.
It's a very scary situation for residents here in South Apopka who they have been this way out throughout the latter half of the afternoon. Our photographer actually viewed the fire approaching within 50 feet or so of structure on South Washington. It's about maybe about half a mile, less than half a mile over that way. So this is a very active situation that we'll continue to stay on top of. But for now, reporting live in South Apopka, David Jones, WESH 2 News.
And of course, this ongoing drought that we have been feeling in Central Florida continues to keep firefighters very busy, as we just saw out there where David is at in Apopka. Joining me right now is First Warning Meteorologist Marquise Mita. Marquise, we have some much needed rain in the forecast, but still a very dry weekend.
That is correct. We started off today, no rain in sight. Could see an isolated shower tomorrow. The bulk of the precipitation that we'll get will be on Monday and Tuesday. But regardless, it's only a few extra drops in the bucket that remains dry for Central Florida, as we're not going to make up the deficit for rainfall all in one weekend or all in one work week. So the current burn bans that we have are nearly all area wide, with the exceptions being Marion and Osceola County. Everywhere else, you're under a burn ban here in Central Florida, reminding you all to keep the outdoor burns to an absolute minimum. Now, David was just showing you the brush fire that we had in Apopka. The good news is that firefighters are working diligently to keep the flames down, keep the smoke away, because this is a heavily populated area. We're not seeing any of the smoke on our live radar, so that means that the fire crews and city officials are doing their job absolutely well. This is a new fire that just spawned within the last hour. This is in the Holopah area of Osceola County, to the south of the one that we just showed you. This is across 441 and south of 192, and you see the plume of smoke pushing towards the north and the east, all courtesy of that southeasterly breeze, which did warm temperatures today, but with faster winds in the forecast, we'll still carry that fire threat tomorrow. But what we need is the rain. It's been 25 long days since our last decent shower, but that could come to an end rather soon. We'll be tracking the chance for rain as we move into the work week coming up next time I see you.
Now to the Vatican City, where hundreds of thousands are spilling out of St. Peter's Square for Pope Francis's funeral. The traditional Catholic service honors his humility, sacrifice, and commitment to his faith. A plain wooden coffin lays atop the steps of St. Peter's Basilica. Gathered at its side, leaders and dignitaries from across the world, including President Trump, First Lady Melania, former First President Joe Biden and his wife Jill. People also gathered outside the Vatican while Francis's body was taken over to River Tiber to be buried in a tomb in Rome's Basilica Santa Maria Maggiore, his final resting place next to his favorite icon, the Virgin Mother.
The tomb should be simple with essential things. And for that reason, the tomb is not big, a great piece of art, but essential and very simple.
The 88-year-old beloved pontiff will be the first pope in more than a century to be buried outside the Vatican in a modest burial, which is what he wanted. As the Catholic world mourns the Pope, Catholic leaders look ahead to conclave, the gathering of Catholic cardinals to choose the next pope. And that process starts 15 to after the death of the Pope. The participants are concealed in the Sistine Chapel. They are forbidden from speaking to anyone outside of the process. Rounds of voting continue until one candidate receives a 2/3 supermajority. It can take several days. The crowd waiting outside the Vatican is notified that a pope has been elected when the chimney that you just saw there above the Sistine Chapel billows out white smoke. Our coverage of the death of Pope Francis continues online at WESH.com. There you can read more about the life of the pontiff and preparations to select his successor. New tonight, a 10-year-old boy who police say died at the hands of his own mother and her boyfriend was laid to rest today. Xavier Williams spent 4 weeks in the hospital before succumbing to his injuries. Loved ones gathered in Connecticut, where the boy was originally from, to mourn his loss and celebrate his life. The funeral service comes on the heels of a prayer vigil, also in Connecticut, where Xavier's father, Keneal, and his aunt, Camille, were joined by hundreds of mourners.
We thank God for giving us this opportunity to be here.
We thank you that we are gathered here in his honor. We thank you that, Father, he has been a gift.
Xavier was taken by his mother, Kimberly Mills, to Tavares in 2022 after Mills and the elder Williams got divorced. Police say that Mills and her boyfriend, Andre Walker, tortured that little boy to death. Both Mills and Walker are being held in jail tonight without bond. New tonight, FSU is set to reopen its student union. This all comes a little more than a week after a gunman opened fire there, killing 2 people and hurting 6 others. President Richard McCullough released a statement on X saying, in part, after careful consideration and listening to our students, we have decided to reopen the student union from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday, April 28th. He then goes on to say that the opening will be conducted with the utmost respect and care for all those affected. No employees or volunteers will to be present or will be required to return to the student union until they are ready. There will be a moment of reflection on Monday afternoon at 3 o'clock before it will officially open. At last check, the 5 patients treated at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital have been released. There is 1 person remaining, presumably the suspected shooter, 20-year-old student Phoenix Eichner. In Polk County, deputies shot and killed a man who they say threatened them with a knife. Sheriff Grady Judd says 37-year-old John Snyder was wanted for a series of thefts and burglaries. When deputies spoke to McDonald's, they say that Snyder pushed a deputy and then ran away. Deputies cornered Snyder outdoors when they say that he pulled out a knife. Deputies say they gave repeated commands for Snyder to drop the knife, but he continued to advance toward a deputy. That deputy shot Snyder several times. No deputies were hurt. The shooting remains under investigation. In Marion County, deputies have arrested this man, 32-year-old Delvin Thornton, who they say ran over a 66-year-old woman with his go-kart. Officials say this all stems from an argument. Thornton is accused of driving straight toward her and then running her over. When deputies arrived, the victim had several obvious wounds on her body and face, including broken teeth. Thornton is now facing several charges. A local nonprofit that serves thousands of people experiencing homelessness says it's losing so much money it may end up shutting down. WESH 2 tonight, Gabriel spoke with Matthew's Hope Ministries about their urgent plea for help. Thousands of people celebrated culture in downtown Orlando today for the annual Puerto Rican Parade and Festival. Vendors, activities, and live performances highlighted the island's heritage and contributions to the Sunshine State.
It's been wonderful today seeing all of the families, all of the ages, all of the different genres of music, all of our different foods.
We are super happy that, we're showing not just to Orlando, but we are showing the world how we are.
This year's theme was renewable energy to create awareness in the Hispanic community about change and energy consumption. So to come tonight, taking pride in their community, a group of high schoolers in Pine Hills were up bright and early to make a neighborhood look a little bit better. What leaders hope to see in the future for their community coming up next.
First Warning Weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Monday morning, opening statements begin in the so-called Xbox murders resentencing. Plus, a major construction project wraps up on I-4.
Start your day with WESH 2 News Sunrise, starting at 4:30 a.m.
Well, there's nothing like seeing people take the time to clean up the streets in their own neighborhood, but it's even more motivating when the people doing it are high school teenagers. WESH 2 Spencer Tracy takes us to Pine Hills, where students from Evans High School showed their community some much-needed love. Well, both organizations in Pine Hills say that they will be hosting quarterly cleanups. I love that. All those young people out there right after Grad Bash. And after dropping the first two games of the playoffs, the Orlando Magic is not what we're going to be talking about right now. We're going to be talking about what is going on weather-wise outside.
We've got some magic in the forecast.
We got magic in the forecast?
The Magic won last night. The rain showers, they start sprinkling in tomorrow in the afternoon. Isolated conditions, however, Monday and Tuesday, that's when we're going to see the wettest precipitation, the wettest rain, the most accumulation that we've seen all month long here in Central Florida. So the hottest air of the year, that's back tomorrow in the afternoon. High temperatures here in the city, beautiful, should hit 93 degrees. It's a sunny start, but we'll be watching out for an isolated shower as your weekend continues. And some places need the rain desperately. In fact, if you're in Daytona, this is the third driest start to any year that you've had on record, as you're 6.5 inches away from your seasonal average for rainfall accumulation. And take a look at the numbers here in Leesburg in Lake County. You've only seen 3.36 inches of rain so far this year, but this time last year, well, you were definitely in a surplus as you have received 10.9 inches of rain this time last year. So over the last week, we have seen some changes to our drought monitor comparison. We are now showing extreme drought conditions. Central Lake and also Volusia County outlined there in red, and the drought only gets worse as temperatures this weekend continue to climb throughout the afternoon tomorrow. Right now, 86 degrees, got a small breeze from the west and the southwest at 3 miles per hour. We mentioned that Leesburg is one of the driest places to be, but to your south in Osceola County, here's a look at a new brush fire that we the last hour. This is stretching over 440 Hollapog Groves Road here. Some of the plumes of smoke continue to push out towards the north and the west, courtesy of that south and easterly flow. Tonight, though, in Leesburg, temperatures should drop down to 68, 67, maybe 66 just before the sun does rise tomorrow. So it's a mild start to your morning as Bike Fest continues in Leesburg. Tomorrow, though, 94 for your afternoon high, and we are expecting a late isolated shower. Let's go ahead and time that out now on Futurecast. Dry to start off the morning, loads of sunshine in the picture. Here comes the rain, a sea breeze collision taking place in the afternoon, and we just have enough moisture for a quick hitting shower, but you'll be dry heading into Monday morning. Before this happens, we'll see this cold front descend from the north, almost a backdoor system here, and we got 2 rounds of rain on Monday and Tuesday before high pressure does build on Wednesday coming up. So how much rain are we expecting? Not enough to turn the tides in regards to our drought, but to your south and west across Winter Haven, you might see an inch inside the city, beautiful, less than 1/4 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch across the coast if you are in Palm Coast. as we head into Wednesday coming up. So Monday, Tuesday, those are your real wet rainmaker days. Dry Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we do have a chance for more showers coming up next weekend on Saturday.
Well, speaking of turning the tides, after dropping the first 2 games of the playoffs, the Orlando Magic bouncing back in a big way last night at the Kia Center.
Yeah, we finally have a series on our hands, right? The Magic preventing the Celtics sweep, gutting out a win, and protecting home court. Next in sports, we're going to stops the physicality, the big shots, as the Magic prepare to climb their way back into the series.
WESH 2 Sports is sponsored by Mullinax Ford, Florida's largest Ford retailer. Save thousands with employee pricing on 2,500 new Fords. Plus, there's never a dealer fee at Mullinax. Now, WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
Dialing up the pressure. Hey everybody, I'm Kristen Lago. Down 2-0 in their series against the Celtics, the Magic came into last night's game backs against the wall. As for what's next, a week off before taking on the Portland Thorns next Saturday. We'll be right back.
Civic is the #1 selling sedan, and now the Civic Hybrid is the North American Car of the Year. Choose from Civic sedans, hybrids, SIs, hatchbacks, and Type Rs from $259 a month at your local Honda dealer.
Covering Central Florida, so you never miss a moment of what's happening. Every night at 10, Michelle Imparato, Jesse Pagan, and Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi. WESH 2 News at 10 on CW18. Local, live, late break.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
I'm AJ Hires from Boniface Hires Mazda in Melbourne, Florida. Right now, get new Mazdas as low as 0% financing, up to $7,500 off, or payments at $230. And all new Mazdas come with a warranty forever. That's 0% financing, $7,500 off, and payments as low as $234 a month. BonifaceHiresMazda.com, US 1 and NASA Boulevard, Melbourne, Florida, home of warranty forever. Thank you. Log on to BonifaceHiresMazda.com. I'm AJ Hires from Boniface Hires Chevrolet in Melbourne, Florida. New Chevrolets up to $12,000 off or 2.9% financing with a warranty forever. That's right, new Chevrolets up to $12,000 off with available 2.9% financing with Boniface Hires Chevrolet's warranty forever. Nobody will sell you a Chevy for less than Boniface Hires. BonifaceHiresChevrolet.com, US 1 Melbourne, Florida, home of warranty forever. Thank you. BonifaceHiresChevrolet.com.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. When you're crying, you bring on the rain. Stop your sighing. Won't you be happy again? When you're smiling, keep on smiling, and the whole world.
Never ever stop reaching for what makes you feel whole. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Save thousands on the best Hondas with 0% for 72 months. The 25 Accord, Civic, Passport, and Odyssey have been named the best cars for the money by U.S. News & World Report. Save now when you search your local Honda dealer today.
Central Florida's Chief Manalfi on WESH 2 News.
Well, after dealing with all of this dry weather, finally we are getting some much needed relief. Let's check in with First Warning meteorologist Marquise Mita for a final look at that forecast.
Luana, this could be the start of something new here in Central Florida. As you alluded to, it's been a very dry start to the year, but with this next cold front moving in on Monday, we'll have not 2 chances for rain. Monday showers followed by Tuesday. We'll see that front descend towards the south and the west with another round of precipitation, but we're not done yet. Our long range models, they're looking at more showers as we get into the next weekend, keeping conditions unsettled all the way through the middle of May as moisture is going to hang around. So here's a look at those first few chances for rain showers. Monday and Tuesday to start off the work week. Those will decrease your temperatures down into the mid 80s. And then next week, watching out for showers with highs in the upper 80s.
All right, some beautiful temperatures there. Thanks so much for watching us. We'll be back on tonight at 10 on CW18 and right back here at 11 on WESH 2 News. Have a wonderful and blessed night. We'll see you later.